The Murphys gave a party just about a week ago. Everything was plentiful, the Murphys, they're not slow. They treated us like gentlemen, we tried to act the same, but only for what happened, well, it was an awful shame. When Mrs. Murphy dished the chowder out, she fainted on the spot. She found a pair of overalls in the bottom of the pot. Tim Nolan, he got rippin' mad, his eyes were bulgin' out. He jumped up on the table, and loudly he did shout, "Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder?" Nobody spoke, so he shouted all the louder, "It's an Irish trick that's true, I can lick the mick that threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder." So he dragged the pants from out the soup and laid them on the floor. Each man swore upon his breast he'd never seen them before. They were plastered up with mortar and were worn out at the knee. They'd had their many ups and downs, as we could plainly see. When Mrs. Murphy she came to, she began to cry and pout. She'd had them in the wash that day and forgot to take them out. Tim Nolan, he excused himself for what he said that night. So we put music to the words and sang with all our might. "Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder?" Nobody spoke, so we shouted all the louder, "It's an Irish trick that's true, I can lick the mick that threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder."